All right, we are live. Glad to be back live and streaming after that huge disaster yesterday.
Hmm. Funny.
Interesting. Okay. So today we are taking a look at some DXF plate files. Trying to turn these into alps. And also trying to make sure that these are all right. Appears so. Yo, Mendax and Warm Thoughts, welcome, welcome. Doing
Welcome.
real good. Got my co-host Andy here, who is always on the calls but never watches the stream.
Fuck your stream, bro.
Hey, homie, are you still selling that Burr gun? Oh, that's a good question. Whew. Um, it's on hold right now. um, yeah. Reach out to me if you're really super interested. Because I could give you some details on it and the whole situation. But yeah, DM me if you're interested in learning about what's going on. Asmodeus, welcome. We are taking some plate files, some public plate files, and attempting to turn them into alps, HHKV layout plates, so that I can work on these in alps. That's what we got going on. Oop. Give me a second. I don't think I have streamer mode on. Okay, should be good now. Okay, you do 11 then 8. Oh my, you don't even understand. Okay. Um. Whew. What's the move here? We've done this before. Um. Let's take a look at our downloads. Okay. So here we have what we want. Oops. And so we just want to basically, I don't know why I did that. We want to basically move all these cutouts from here onto these other two plate files. I want to say that I'm always like, I always remember how to do this and that this should be fast, but it never is. Let's take a look here. Let's see if what has happened here makes much sense, if at all. What I first notice is whatever I've pasted here appears to be, I want to say, a little bit out of position. Because we can see here, it's like this is not aligned. We go all the way to the other end. And it's like, I think uniformly not aligned. Which is bizarre. So quick question here. I recently bought vintage Apple Designs keyboard thinking it was Alps, but it turns out to be domes. What's the play here? Is it worth keeping at all? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think that's always the trouble with buying like vintage stuff, is that you don't know whether or not what's in it is like ever as cool as you think or hope it's gonna be. I would say if you type on it and if you like it, like sometimes you gotta like try to extract out everything you know from the board, or like, you know, from the hobby, and just really sit down and think, do I like this? Because if you like it, then don't listen. I think it's like not helpful to listen to us. It's domes, it's trash, I'm gonna get rid of it. Because if you really enjoy it, go for it. Like, I love tray mount keyboards, despite, you know, I think there being a big wave against tray mount keyboards. I like them. So I'm gonna keep going for them as much as I like all these other kinds of boards. But with that said, it's that like I see if you like it. I mean, if it's something that's a little lackluster, I don't know that it has really any value other than like the $10 you probably got it for. Yeah, I don't know. $10 from Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I mean, it's what it is. Sure, gotta clean it up, but I'll give it a shot. Thanks, man. Of course, of course. Definitely. So one resource I always look at is say that you like find a board, and you're a little curious about it. Like one resource that I think is really good for older Alp stuff is Desk Authority. The Desk Authority wiki I think is it's really helpful. So that can usually clue you into like whether or not, because I know that there are some boards where you really don't know until you have it in hand whether it's going to be like there are some keyboards that have both Alps and Rubber Dome like within the same model number, which is crazy annoying. So I kind of get it. Sometimes it's just like you got to take a risk, I guess. Warm Thoughts Profit is good. I like it. It took me a little bit to get used to it. I have a polypropylene plate in it, and I mean it's the way it is. I think personally for me, I guess I might be old and simple. Hold up FM Vince Tables, yeah. I've seen Vince Tables a couple times now, maybe about like 6 or 7 times. Yeah, this is FM. FM, I think one of my favorite projects, one of my favorite Vince Staples songs is on that album. I mean, I have a bunch. Damn, I love Vince. I've seen it a couple times as well. I have the hoodie. Nice. Yeah, he has this his self-titled project coming out soon. It's really exciting. I once saw him 6 years ago, February of 2016, 5 years ago. And And it's crazy how much like he blew up in the span of like a year or two, because I was able to see him in a really, really, really small venue. And I was like right there. It's really cool. My brother actually, I think, has met him a couple times. Brother's like kind of like in the same circles in the entertainment industry, so. Mendex, yeah, that's what it was. Inside the case, there's a marker saying it's a Thailand model, which is domes versus the US model, which is Alps. I see, I see. Very, very keen. I like Law of Average. Law of Averages is a good song. I think he just dropped another song today. I gave it a quick peep. It was pretty good. I think I liked Law of Averages more. Yeah, all around solid. Okay. I've been goofing around a lot. Let's get back to it. Okay. So the center will peep. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna lock this up and we're going to yikes. Okay. I'm gonna copy this. And then switch the locks. Copy this. And so I think what I want to do is essentially shift it over by as much as the difference. And hope that that works. And like the whole thing. Whoa, my God. Y'all hear that? Also, I just lost all of my work. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was a... loud firework outside. I live in a somewhat busy area. Okay, let's find a place to paste all of this info where I won't lose it. Okay, so what I want to do now is take all of this and then I guess we can run where is it? What am I looking for? I'm literally looking for the transform. I guess it would be just move. Move this over. Let's see. Oh ho! Oh, how you like that? Does that work? Does everything look all clean? Is this what we really wanted? $6008. It's like slightly. It's like slightly there. Just a new song, pretty good. I prefer Lava Ashes as well. Yeah. Warm thoughts. Are you stateside, or just out of curiosity? I'm wondering where out in the world are you? I missed it. What happened to your work, by the way? You lost it? Oh no, just like my little bit of work of just finding positionings. Some of this stuff, how it's positioned, and I'm trying to just kind of hopefully make sure that alignment is all good, but I think there's like some slight differences, unfortunately. Aussie line, okay, right on. It's cool. So he's been out there a couple times. You've been able to catch him. Pre-COVID, I would go out to a lot of concerts. I would always just kind of like take a little film camera and just shoot from the pit. And so as I was constantly just going to all kinds of, primarily like 70% ish hip hop shows. But yeah, Vince Staples, and honestly, Vince Staples and Tyler were probably the guys I've seen the most. Clavier, thank you for the follow. Yeah, he was support for Flume, and then caught his solo show as well. Oh, right on. I remember he had that one run where he was like doing a lot of, I don't know, just like features for EDM artists, which is pretty cool. I love how like he can just work his way into really just like a whole nother sound. What do I want to do here? I'm not sure what my plan really is. Like what I kind of want to do is reposition every single one of these cutouts so that the Alps version is like centered. New Tyler album is really nice. It is really good. I really quite like it. Tyler is like, you know, it's cool how like, I mean, he's just had what, an album every 2 years. But I feel like with COVID, it almost feels like everything stopped for a year. So for the fact that he came out still at the same timing, really just feels like we got it sooner in a way. All right. These two guys, I believe, should be centered. I'm like very curious of how I would go about doing this sensibly. Point 2, point 4. So like that works. Let's check both ends. See right there at this point. Like I'm not sure how much like, you know, 1/10,000th or 2/10,000ths like of a millimeter is gonna matter, but I don't know what to say other than that doesn't inspire the most confidence in me. Like I recognize, like, yeah, I stole this plate file off of the Prototypist Discord. But one would still hope and expect things would work the way I wanted to. So yeah, we have like, this is off. These are basically off by like 1 to 2 10,000ths. Or more, I don't know. 1 to 10 10,000ths. So what do we do? Ooh. I'm not sure how to like the cleanest possible way to do this in Illustrator. Because I'm gonna have to do this 60 times, and I'm just worried that I'll have to do this 60 times on the other plate as well. Oh my god. That's already turning out really, really sloppy. Because all of these objects just get aligned like that. I can join them. What was that one shortcut where... I forget. Is that a shortcut? Pixel? No. That wasn't it. Outline? There we go. So I'm sitting here now curious as to whether or not, well, first of all, we can get rid of some of these guys here that are inconsequential. Off the bat. I was just hoping this would be easier. And maybe this is why this will take a little longer than I anticipated. So I'm guessing I can just try joining all of this. I wonder if there's a quick way. See, I might not even want to join this guy. All these like stabilized ones. Boy, I just feel really goofy doing this. But yeah, actually, Warm Thoughts, if you're still out there, if you hit my exclamation website command, you could see some of the shots that I've taken maybe about 2019-ish and before. Stuff I've taken at concerts. I do have a Vince Staples. I do have a Vince Staples shot up there. Somewhere in that gallery. Ooh. What in the world have I done? I'm also now wondering, I know I kind of already have some idea of what key set I want to use for this eventual build. And now I'm wondering if there's any difference between full touch and stepped that I might want to consider. And I can see here, this space right here is just like way bigger to help accommodate for it in MX. Alright, let's try this. So the idea is we want to align like that and like that. And I guess it's like I'd have to just like do this every time for each one of these 60. And I don't know if there's any faster way to doing this. Right, I've done 4 so far. Let me see if I go right here. Yeah, it does actually work, doesn't it? So I'm like curious how much I want to do this before I want to blow my brains out. The blue is good. That's what we want to follow. See, because if I end up doing some like this, we end up meeting in the middle. That's not what we want. It's got to be like a faster way. If anyone knows how to do this really quickly in Illustrator, please let me know. I'm gonna be honest in imagining that I don't think I'll be able to do this in any CAD software faster than this without someone giving me the entire rundown of what to do. That said, there was also this matter of fact that I recently was trying to use KiCad with Moon Operator, and I don't know, I like kind of like crashed my computer. Alright, these guys, oof, like still also somewhat dubious, but I think you can kind of tell where these are supposed to go just based off these numbers. Probably all of them you can maybe tell where they're supposed to go. What I think maybe is the difference is kerf, perhaps. Maybe kerf was causing this issue. Something about it is causing some type of issue. I wonder if there's like a there's got to be like some way to macro this, but I guess in the meantime, this is more of just one of those mindless, relaxing things we can just chill and do. Kind of like lubing switches, I suppose. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I think what I can do is get rid of all of the ones that are certainly done. I think that would be like these guys. Yeah. That way I can just get myself less confused. Appears we got like some flex cuts around some of the bigger keys. Some of these, they're just scarier to deal with, but we're gonna figure them out. Look at this silly shit. We're gonna have to figure some of that out later. Yeah, some of these are off by like 7/1000ths. I have no clue. Like after everything I've been through, I have no clue like what is like reasonable tolerance, to be perfectly honest. For anyone who was here for my stream yesterday, thank you, I guess. Thank you for watching that disaster of a stream. I wonder, okay, really just separately, I wanna check for something. I gotta say, man, something has been confusing lately. I feel like I have somewhat of a powerful machine here. Nice little GPU. Interesting. What I noticed is that at least in Lightroom, it's super problematic actually using GPU acceleration. Like I hate, like why, you know? I'm wondering, so we have GPU acceleration off, but like, you get these weird rendering artifacts in this outline mode. I wonder, so I can see here that there are these like flex cuts. And if I'm running HHKB, it's like, I don't need this, but like, I mean, are those flex cuts, do they have purpose if you're not going to be using those switches, if those switches are blocked? Is that going to have some kind of weird marginal effect? I become curious about that. I already have an outright problem here where it's like all these widths are slightly different. I don't know if you guys can see that. I realize you guys might not be able to see over here on this right corner, but it's like this width varies by 14 10,000ths. It's like, I mean, that must be a factor of like the weird DXF. Like, I mean, that's probably it though, right? Like, it's probably this. Like, if I hit original, like, this doesn't sit well with me. They're already off by like 1/10,000th. But there's also the fact that like, wait, the sizing is totally off too. Am I crazy? Oh, this is cherry. Yeah. It's like actually like a marginal difference. Which is very weird. I'm left to sort of wonder. I feel like I should put an MX slash alps key here, or alps cutout here, so that way I could throw like an artisan on if I decide to throw MX on this. But actually, that shouldn't matter. I know what I'm gonna do with this board. It's not a big deal. Okay. Let's see. What is the intent here? 9125. So I'm like looking at this just kind of confused. I don't know how wide I want to make this because I'm not even sure what the positioning is supposed to be of this guy. Like one thing I'm thinking of is that I can probably extend this out that way. Am I pointing in the right way? I guess it would be that way, reversed. So if I could point this or extend this out this way, but I just would like to know what the correct positioning really even is. Let's see. So there's this matter here of, let's get this down. 2937. So I'm going to extend it to 0.8011. So this guy, I send this out to 401 7302. Ah, oh, that's terrible. Yikes. This is goofy. What am I doing? Basically want to consider making this wide enough to match this style of cutout. Oops. Okay, so 406. Where am I? Plus 4.7638 pixels. But then now position this (401 7302). There we go. So that right there should give me the cutout I want. Did I delete a guy here? I may have deleted that guy, didn't I? Yikes. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save this as an Illustrator file. Desktop. Do we call this an illustration? Why the hell not? 2021. What's the date? 0706. j-02 alps. Meanwhile, I'm gonna actually open that j-02 one again. Okay, so apparently they never had one there, which is cool. Alright. How do we continue remediating all of this? So we're gonna do. We now have just some of these funny cutout guys left. We can also, like for this guy, we can kind of probably infer that this guy was supposed to be at 647 and 15. Wait, am I crazy? What has happened? Or like, sorry. So from the center point, it would be 654.8. It's probably where that's supposed to be. This guy right here. I mean, 8.5. At this point, then we can probably call this guy ready to be chopped off. Get rid of that. We don't need stabilizer cuts there. Next up, here's what we're gonna do. We can probably get rid of enough of these guys. To actually make these joinable at this point here. Now, we could take these guys and join them all. And now we should be able to figure out what we want from here. There we go. Not a whole lot left, which is real good. So let's show this, and I have some ideas here of what to do. What I think I want to do is basically cut out all of this. And this might be the pattern that we want. So now that we see this, my next suspicion is that, well, we can handle that in a moment. My next suspicion here is that I'm gonna want to join these all the way over. This guy right here, we have another funny situation whereby I'm gonna lock this. Oops. And then get rid of all of this. Oh no! My computer crashing? Oh god. Okay. I just freaked out. I thought my computer was about to crash. Freaked me out, man. Okay. Okay. So this is what I think I want to do. We'll make that look less like a, I don't know, some kind of humanoid character after we resolve some of this other stuff. Alrighty. Ah. Okay. Okay. So I think this is almost pretty much where we want to be with this whole thing. Shit. I think I may have fucked up on some of these last few fellas here. Let's see. Maybe we can still just try to deduce. If I take this guy and take a look at the center, I mean, that does not seem quite where I want it to be necessarily. I think that's kind of where I blew it. Let's redo a whole bunch of this work. At least I have a better idea now. Ken's Keebs. A big ol' raid. Party at 9. Big ol' raid. Ken's Keebs, welcome and thank you. I wish you can draw my heart. Apologies, Davood, Ken, Frank, guys, welcome. Hope you had a very, very pleasant stream. Guessing you might have done something keyboard related. But let me know how that all went out. Let me know how that all turned out. I realize I'm really bright, aren't I? Let's turn down the ISO here. Just like looking myself in that little screen, I realize I'm really quite bright. Frank said that. Hello. Why didn't you guys udon with us back in May? I think. Sag. I don't know. I wasn't fully vaxxed then. That might have played a factor, but hard to know what I was thinking 2 months ago when I don't know what I was thinking yesterday. Weren't you invited to go with Lala? I mean, that's a possibility. I can neither confirm nor deny. Alrighty. What the? Come on, man. Control J. I think so. I'm sorry if that wasn't you. It sounds familiar. Open a package. We got a package opening. All right. Give me a second. While we align this guy. Is that really the case? Is that really where we wanted that to be? I guess it is. Okay, let me go grab that. Packages we've got. We got streams all week, so I'm trying to like spread out some of these packages. Let's see. Am I crazy here? Am I missing something? We got a couple packages tonight, so anyone feel free to open, do whatever. For 200, how many packages do you have? There's a limit. There's a per night limit based on how many packages I have. So, let's see if we can get this open. So 2 tonight. We're gonna be streaming tomorrow as well. And we're probably also gonna be streaming Thursday too. So, let's get this guy opened up. Alright, here we go, guys. Got some Supreme stickers. This I haven't opened in a while. This isn't even like the most recent drop. Did I move top down? I did. I shifted. My whole setup is like a little bit different now. So I have the top down just like center of everything. What the hell else is in here? Give me a second. There's seems to be a lot here, but I think maybe the lot here is nothing. It's just paper. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Playing cards? It's not playing cards. This was actually from a bit ago. I'm gonna open it up. I usually open these up. I try every now and then to collect lighters. So we gotta. This is Zippo. Yeah, no, I don't smoke, but I just like collecting lighters because they're small. I collect things, I guess. I'm trying to just amass a large collection of lighters. That I'll never use. You and I should compare lighter collection. Can you show one of your favorites? Let me see what I got. I don't have very many, like I'm not gonna lie. Literally my lighter collection is just comprised of mostly Supreme lighters. And like just random like artist merch Bic lighters. I don't have very many. In fact, I feel like I've misplaced at least like one. It's just out here in the back. There's a lot of bullshit over here. Yeah, I definitely have lost one. I mean, I could just show you guys the whole collection if you guys want to see it. Other than the one I lost. The fuck? Yeah, I really for the last one for real. Oh no, there I see it. I see it. Give me a second. I'm trying to grab the. Oh my god, it's like the worst. All right. I'll bring out my whole collection here. One of them is like completely unopened. My god, they're all dusty. I just leave them. The difference is actually, yeah, no, I don't use my lighters, so I don't smoke. So, all right, this is like the first one that I started my collection on. It's just a Supreme, like an iridescent. I got this one. This is a Bape lighter that I got while I was in Japan. There's like another Supreme Diamond one. This is the one I just got today. And then here are some artist merch ones. It's like Dreamville. I got this. I bought like a VIP package for watching J. Cole, and then I ended up not going because I ended up just bouncing and setting up a separate trip out the same time as that show. So I ended up selling my ticket, but I just kept the concert merch. This one is a golf wing. This is from Camp Flogna 2016, and this one was from a future tour. Got a couple Bic lighters here. Oh, here's another Supreme one that I haven't opened. This one's not a Zippo. This one is a Subota Pearl hard edge lighter. That's what it says here. And then finally, this one right here. Casey Musgraves, my favorite, pretty much the only country artist that I really enjoy. Got this in a candle bundle. So I also haven't opened this. So why Supreme? I have no, like, my friends are into Supreme, so it's like I kind of just got into it just by extension. I always just like look. Whenever I just see a Supreme drop, I'll just see if they have shit available for me to just buy and collect. So why Supreme is not? There's not much to it. If you ask which one's my favorite, I mean, I don't know. I would guess either this one because it's the first one I bought, or this one because I got it in Japan. I don't know. Oh, I have one more lighter. One more lighter. Ah, yes. This guy right here. I'm back. What have I returned to? A divine collection. Yeah, I keep this one in the bathroom whenever I also have I leave candles in the bathroom whenever it starts getting to smelling a little funkier than normal. This is the only lighter I actually use. I don't use any of these. So that's my collection of lighters. Hope you guys enjoyed. Funky. Yeah, I'm trying to, as I was mentioning, warm thoughts, as you weren't here. Ken redeemed, opened a package, and I've had this Supreme lighter. Was it this guy right here? Unopened for some time, and we got to show in my modest lighter collection. Yep. I guess I'll just move all of them here. Yeah, shouts out to Ken. Ooh, shouts out to Ken for the big old raid. Fancy? Thank you. Alright. Okay, back to it here. What was I doing? I think that I have already censored this guy. So I could lock this up. Delete this fella here. We're gonna do some of the same stuff. Well, what we're actually gonna do, we're going to remove this guy. So, guys, welcome for anyone who was at Ken's stream. Thank you again, Ken, for the big ol' raid. Hope it went well. Let me know if you're still around what it was you were up to. But tonight I am working on designing an alps plate for my j-02. What I typically do is I take whatever plate files ever get published for keyboards that I have, and I literally just grab a known cutout, like plate cutout for a 60% board. I usually only do 60s, and try to just modify them to fit what I want out of alps, because they don't usually build these in alps. Thank you for showing us your collection. Well, thank you for being here. It's the least I could do. The very least. Did that actually move? It did. Nice. Alright, let's go that one more time. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to this and try to figure out what it is that we would like to do. I'm gonna get some food right on. Have a great late night munchy session. Alright, I think we're good on that guy. And then we got one more right here to accommodate for. So destroy this evidence. Join these together. Unlock. Check the positioning here. Ah, shit. That's what I forgot. Did I? I'm quite confused by that. I guess I did join that. Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Fuck. No, I didn't do it. And now I need to redo this whole procedure here. There we go. Okay, so I just spent like the last hour aligning this so that I wouldn't be off by 10 thousandths. So I mean, hopefully this all works out. The next thing I want to do now is I guess we want to move all of this. I forget how to combine layers. How do you merge layers in Illustrator? What material are you gonna get cut in? Probably alu. What I realized is like you can always do a lot of cool, interesting materials, but I feel like you can really never go wrong with alu, especially when I'm doing alps. I think a big key is like we wanna be able to like, especially like here's a j-02, a gasket mount board. You want something that's really relatively, I want something that's really relatively firm. Just kind of ensure that everything works with the gaskets, I guess. And another critical thing is we want to have it like work with like alp switches with respect to thickness of the plate. So Pinocchio is only going to provide so many limited amounts of materials that'll really work. It's thinner than MX, so Layer panels options. Is there options? Am I crazy? Oh. There we go. Perfect. Plywood plate. Klaus live. Welcome to the stream. I actually do have one plywood alps plate that is going to be put together in a future build. So stay tuned for that. Here's what I'm gonna do. How do I unjoin? It's like if I minus this, that does not do what I want it to do. I mean, I guess what I can do here is just pull it all the way. Doesn't even matter. Nothing matters. Alright, perfect. That's what I want. Alrighty. So what I'm trying to do here is I just want to extend this out because it often worries me when we have this gap. And I'm trying to deal with like the tolerances of what's necessary for different types of stabilizers. So I might as well just like connect them together. I burn incense. Yeah, I just burn candles with the one singular lighter. Okay, oops. Alright. This concludes this j-02 plate. You guys might notice there's a little funkiness at the bottom corners. I took out the MX cutouts. I've never put in Alps cutouts in there, but I left the flex cuts. And I'm not gonna lie, this looks very weird to me. I'm thinking of getting rid of these. Would you guys hate me if I took out these flex cuts that are not around any switches? If you guys are mad about that, I will put them back. But I feel like this is the plate I want. I think this is a plate we want to go with. View, preview. So this is the MX before. How do you line up? I want to like go back and forth here. So this is the before with MX and then the after with Alps. Before, after, before, after. So I think that kind of concludes what we wanted to do here out of the j-02 plate. I think we can move along with the MX plate, or sorry, the ph60 plate. Yeah, let's just dive right into it. So this guy right here, this is funny. It's like upside down. Is there any way for me to rotate this? Object, transform, rotate, 180. There we go. This does look like this. So I'm wondering if I can just take all of this and just paste it in place. And maybe we could possibly try running the same exercise as before, but knowing that we have knowing that we've already worked on some of the repositionings, maybe a lot of this becomes less critical. Not this. That's not what I want. This. This is what I want. Okay, so you can see everything is slightly off. Oh shit, I missed like a whole bottom line here. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. So, as before, the idea here I have is, can we reposition the entirety of this to sort of match this cutout centers here? And I think what's going to be, this is going to be an interesting exercise because we're basing around a lot of the cutout, you know, for reference on the j-02, which I guess uses its own proprietary db60 PCB from Canon Keys. Whereas the ph60 kind of uses any of the, you know, sort of standard PCBs out there. So with that said, you would hope that the DB60 kind of follows the same pattern in terms of spacing. I think like it's only really more prominent that spacing really changes on like some of these older Korean boards, but let's find out. We take a look, the center here of say this switch right here. We'll take note of these. This is 406.65 and 321.9. Meanwhile, where did I position this guy? This guy right here, as I pasted it right in, center is 407.15 and 321.4. So if we just do a little bit of math, the idea here is, can we take this whole guy, hit the transform button and move it by, what would it be, 406.65 pixels minus 407.15 pixels, and then drop it by 321.4 minus 321.9 pixels minus 321.4 pixels. Okay, let's take a look at that. We wonder now, does everything here kind of match up just like better? Let's find out. So the center of this guy is 644.775, 398.1. I would go and venture to say, yeah, this looks good. So I think we did all our work with the j-02. Yeah, everything looks good, to be perfectly honest. Real good, real good. Okay, so now what we come down to is, okay, what interesting sort of cuts do they have here that we might want to just like relegate back towards that for? So what we can do at this point now is get rid of basically all of these guys. This guy as well. Get rid of all of these guys. And this guy. So we're now remodifying here the actual ph60 portion of this plate. So that all the switch cutouts, which we've already accommodated for, are just like gotten rid of. I think we can probably also get rid of some of these stabilizer cutouts too. So when we relay this over, everything looking pretty good, I feel. I mean, like, yeah, everything just kind of otherwise looks solid, but the overlaps. Actually, let me reverse my positioning. Some of the stabilizer ones, they end up looking a little bit different. And so I wonder if that's a situation where the DB60 PCB for the j-02 might be just like different in some way. So like the ph60s, interesting. I think we might still like to go with some of the j-02's design here. The ph60 stabilizer cutouts are smaller, it would appear, in some places. Bigger in others, which is weird. Okay, so let's go back here, and I'm gonna get rid of these flex cuts. Because these aren't like native to the ph60's plate designs. So I want to maintain that type of integrity of like, hey, this is what they really wanted us to do. ph60 for the uninitiated is there's a polycarbonate HHKB file or HHKB board that ran on GeekHack. Here's another question I have. What plates did they offer? They offered POM, polycarbonate, and brass. I think for the fact that they offered brass makes me more comfortable with running this in alu. Because like, well, I was thinking that maybe they designed this in mind with only like these plasticky plates, but since they actually offered a brass option, I'm just like, okay, I don't feel so bad about considering alu. So this is interesting too here, which is this cutout. I like these these commands. Do I need to make commands for you guys? All right. I might want to extend this cutout just a bit, because I think in some of these cases I might want to try to match up with them. Is this for yourself or are you designing this for someone else? Oh, just for myself, personal builds. So it's like, for me personally, I don't mind, you know, just like throwing down whatever cost to just cut a plate, singular plate for myself. Moon Operator helped me out with doing plates in FR4. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, the description I put under build today was not more descriptive than what was in the title. Unfortunately, that's my bad. Yeah, these are for my personal build. It's not always the case, no worries. So Moon Operator was helping me work on some FR4 plates, which is a little different because you got to go to like PCB manufacturers for it. And the minimum order quantity there was like, you need like 5 units. But pretty much if I know I can go to Pinocchio, I will, just cut single plates because I'm cool with it. It's fine. All right, so what's cool here is I think I can just run a join when I merge layers. This becomes a little bit more interesting because there's like 2 different like rounded corner shapes. So I might want to extend that downward. I'm gonna need to do a little work there for the spacebar stuff. Same one, and then this will also be able to handle with the join. So I think a lot of our work here now is gonna be we're gonna have to deal with this caps lock as well as this spacebar area. The join thing is gonna be fine at the end. Okay. Let us see. So what I want to do is full well knowing that we have this guy extended out by this much. We can go and calculate that, and then we just want to basically know how far to go from here and then re-widen the actual squarish guy. Okay, so let's take a look at these calculations. They're up here in the top right corner. We got here 421, 5948, and 353 dot 5998. Meanwhile, this guy right here, 420.7938. Actually, we don't even need the other axis, to be honest. I don't think. Let's see, 360, yeah, that's fine. So it's really, we're just looking for the difference on one axis, which is going to be 421.5948 minus 420.7938. So we want this guy, we want to start this here at whatever this value is, minus 801. .801. Yeah, 0.801. So that's where we'll start this. But we also want to make this go out to 420. That's 7938. So this width here, actually maybe we just do this. Take this guy, and it would be 430 3928. Yep, that's what we want. Okay, are the original files open source? How would you know what dimensions you need? So this guy right here, the ph60, actually was this came from 3928. Perfect. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, so this came from, I guess, the fella who helped run it. But it's not actually public. So I don't know if I should be showing this, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm not really divulging any real great detail of what's in here, but I'm just kind of showing off what it is I do. The j-02 one was provided publicly in the Prototypist Discord, the one that we completed just earlier here. I wonder what... okay. Yeah. So this one, the j-02, which I converted to alps, but the original j-02 plate was provided publicly. How would you know dimensions you need? So the way that I look at this is whenever I work on these types of plates, what I think is most critical is knowing what design choices went into the general shape of the plate. So like here, the ph60, what made this hard and why like I can't design this from scratch is that like I don't know where these holes are. I don't exactly know where these holes are. I don't know the exact height or how this curve works. These are all things that like these are design choices they had that I kind of would like the info for. And it's like I don't even really want the info. I just want the design so I can like work my way around to getting the actual functional part that I like customizing here, which is putting the alps cutouts in. Now the alps cutouts I get from another plate generator, Swill. So if you go to, I think it's like builder.swillkb.com, I believe. Yeah, builder.swillkb.com. This fella built this application that just really like generates any kind of like a lot of different kinds of plate files really quickly, because a lot of those calculations have been done. Now, the calculations are provided that there's like these pretty standard notions of what switch positioning is like, that I think do get followed pretty like in a pretty standard manner among 60% PCBs, which is great because I only use 60%. I don't have to think super hard about what's going on with every other kind of keyboard out there. So that's sort of my explanation is like if I know that like you can generate an alps plate in pretty much the same fashion you can generate an MX plate, and an MX plate kind of matches pretty globally with a lot of plates that are out there in terms of actual positioning of all of these things, then I can just like plaster like the sort of like key switch layout on any other open source plate file, given that what I'm really looking for is this sort of outline shape and just sort of the other interesting stuff in here. So with that said, it's like you know, I'm trying to get certain pieces right here, like make sure all of these, you know, the individual cutouts are positioned correctly. We can see here that there was a design choice that they made the stabilizer cutouts pretty big for left shift and enter. And then we can also see that this design here, like I want to sort of maintain that integrity, so I'm gonna like try to retain this look. I don't know why they this is part of the design, but they did it, so I'll just follow it, you know. So yeah, I'll jump right into that. So they opted to make, what did they do here? So blue right here is the original ph60. It is wide in terms of this cutout, but not as long as the j-02. Now, I don't think it hurts if I make it just quite as long, to be honest. So what I kind of want to do here is figure out a way to select these guys and then like, I don't know, like extend it downwards if that's even possible. There we go. So now I have the width of the ph60 stabilizer cut out, but the length of the j-02 one. So it's like I can get rid of that guy now. Take out the red and we're all good. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Yep. And we should be good now with that guy. So the last thing is sort of handling and dealing with this interesting looking guy. So we put in this work a little bit earlier to match with the what was going on with the j-02 spacebar cutout. I can just delete sort of these edges and rejoin these. Let's clean up these anchor points out of here. They don't need to be here. And then now we can actually probably make this still relatively easy. I can lock this guy up here. And I guess I can just pull this down in the same fashion. And so now we can go and try to merge these layers like we were doing a little bit earlier. And then just join them. That did not work. Okay. Bizarre, but alright. What about this is not like an object? I guess that's what confuses me a little. So this is saying it's an invalid object, compound path, closed path, text objects, graph, live paint group. How do I make sure that this is an object? I mean, this is just a path. I don't know what to say. Okay, I just pulled that out. I wonder if we're gonna have any such similar trouble here. Like, is this the source of the problem? Let's see if dealing with this works. Okay. So now, when I try to merge these two layers, will this... Oh, I think maybe I was trying to hit join instead of this Pathfinder thing. There we go. The Pathfinder Unite, I guess that's what they call it. So let's see what's happening here. I mean, this seems pretty straightforward. I end up taking the bigger shape of the stabilizers here, and so this should be it. I think I was just hitting the wrong shortcut for what I wanted to do. All right. So I think that kind of does it here. Let's call this ph60 alps. Okay. So So I think that about does it here for all of this. I think the next sort of steps here are exporting it as a DXF. Is this what I need to do? I think it is. I honestly forget, to be perfectly honest. I think I'll mess around with this. If this isn't right, I'll just figure it out later. Because what's going to happen is like I just upload this to Pinocchio and then they'll kind of know and figure out what to do. I believe. So similar thing here. Export as DXF. Change it to millimeters. And then I think we should be good. All right. I think so that does it for plates tonight. The stream is a lot shorter than maybe my streams normally are, so I'm just kind of wondering, should I fill out the time so I feel more normal? I guess there's like a couple of things we can look at. We can look at what I've done for a serious plate. Let's take a look. This is what I've done for a serious plate where I think I kept the same sort of general idea here. This sort of big connected thing for stabilizers. Retain that there in this sort of fashion here. And then, so I actually had this cut in a couple different materials. If you guys want to see, I guess that's what we can do here is I can show off a little bit, do some ASMR for you guys. Because there's a little something I kind of want y'all to see. If I can find what I've done here. I have a lot of stuff just out from yesterday, making a big mess of everything. Grab this, I think this is the Sirius right here. Let's take a look, guys. We got a couple of interesting things that I can try to help show off. Gotten some plates cut from before, if anybody wants to see. I'm really hoping, we got a situation here where I'm not going to just scuff everything like I did yesterday. Don't know how many of you guys might have been here yesterday for the big old disaster of a stream. If you weren't there, thank you for not being there. But if you still would like to see, I think the VOD is still currently up on Twitch, but I'm probably going to unpublish it and then just move it over to YouTube so that you guys can watch my disaster on YouTube instead of Twitch. Let's take a look. Guys, we got some interesting things going on here. I think I might have just spoiled something here. Okay. Amnesia is always a solution. Alright, so this right here, well, we'll switch back and forth. If you look at the little screen to your mid-right, this is the plate that came out of this file that you see in Illustrator. So, this is the plate for, a Sirius. So I can pull out the Sirius real quick. Y'all can see. You can kind of just tell by the shape of the board. A little different from like all these tray mount projects that I normally do. It's cool. It's a top mount board made fully of like matte palm. And so you can buy this off of Project Keyboard. I think it might have just sold out recently. Buy this off Project Keyboard, and yeah, it's just a fully palm keyboard, palm plate, palm everything. The plate is glossy. I had this recut now to be for Alps after having been working on this file. Pinocchio was able to cut that out, and so this is what we ended up getting. So it's going to be slightly different in terms of cutout shapes. You can see this guy and alps is a little bit wider than this, but a little bit shorter as well. But like the same thing, I decided to retain what design aspects they had because they're like interesting looking and I guess provide for flex. But then also still did the connection. Yeah, the series keyboard from Project Keyboard. So this is the plate I would use if the actual plate that I want to use fails. So here's the interesting point that I was making a little bit earlier. I remember seeing that on DocSoc for a while. Yeah. So this was up. It's like I don't know if they intend to make it an in-stock board or something, but I've seen it up like a couple of times. I don't know what they intend to really do, but it was interesting. I did see like there was a polycarbonate version too, which I mean it's like the ph60 is the polycarbonate board that I have. But they had like two variants, two different materials recently for the most recent drop. Anyways, so like I was mentioning earlier, MX, in order for your switches to sort of click into place on a plate, it has to be about 1.5 millimeters thick. When you get plates cut from Pinoco, if I want to get a palm plate cut from Pinoco, the only option that they offer that fulfills the 1.0 to 1.2 millimeter threshold for Alps plates is a white palm. I think it's about 0.8 millimeters or 0.9 millimeters or so. I think it's 0.8. So what I do is like I keep this backing. It's just like a little paper backing, and maybe hopefully this will help with just adding some thickness to try to get us to 1.0 millimeters. I'm hoping it works. I mean, like I've tried clicking some Alps switches in, it seemed to work fine. But this is my backup. Pinoco offers lots of different materials, and what's interesting is that some materials don't come in at a 1.5 millimeter thickness. Sometimes they're way thicker, or sometimes they're way thinner. But I was able to find that they provide a 1.0 millimeter thickness only material, so you can't use this for MX. But I thought, hey, here's my opportunity to go and do this for Alps. This is leather, so this is gonna be like, if we opt to use this, I have no idea how this is gonna fare, because this is like, I mean, this is really ridiculous here. What I think all it really is going to be able to do is really just like make sure that things are aligned when putting it through like an Alps PCB. Moon Operator, welcome back. What's up? We've been working on some plates, but we kind of finished a little prematurely, so now I'm just sort of talking here. As we're going back to this leather plate that we made here. So Alps switches, they don't have the little like the plastic leg pins, so you can't really keep things aligned into place. So I think really all this does here is just make sure you have alignment, but this is really not going to provide anything close to stuff that worked, or stuff that's gonna like be firm to actually do this. Whenever, how was yesterday's build? By the way, I saw that message and it already just hit my mind. Moderator, it was a giant disaster. So like I know you were there for when I broke the connector off, and I think you were also still there for when I appeared to have fixed it with all you guys present. I think you and Shibiku were definitely critical in helping me try to fix this. There was a problem though, that I don't know. I don't think I was able to do it. I wrote a little bit about it in the Discord, but I'm not going to even pull it out at this point. When I plugged it in, everything seemed to be fine. I could type. It could, I was able to keep it plugged in long enough to flash a new hex for VIA. And be able to remap in VIA. So for those uninitiated, I've been working on this this same keyboard build over and over again. We just did another iteration of just this a cheap build, but it's a build that intrigues me. It's just a simple plastic keyboard, but it's an Alps build. We're running this on a plain 60 that I bought from some guy. Hold up, give me a second here. I need to go on D&D. I think there's a little sound coming in. Apologize for that. Okay, so we're doing another rebuild of this same board that I've been doing over and over again, even though it's a cheap board, because there's a lot of different aspects of it that interest me. This plain 60 I bought from some guy on Geek Hack about a year ago. He said like, "Oh, I'll solder the USB connector for you." And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And I haven't used it for basically 11 months. So I start using it, and I bought 2 of them from him. Start using it, I break off the connector, like pretty much at the end of stream. So I'm just like, oh fuck. So Moon Operation Biko, they're helping me. We're able to like get it back into place. I'm able to type. I'm able to flash via hex. I'm able to remap. It's all good and great, right? But I'm plugging in and out. And the thing is, what I noticed is that I keep it plugged in. Yeah, I keep it plugged in, and I let it go for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds or so, and it literally starts smoking. So whatever material, that black material on the back of the connector, I think is like starting to melt or something, because there's some kind of short where I can see like a little tiny gap between, I guess, the pad on the PCB and one of the I guess joints to solder on the connector. And I can see there's a tiny gap that there's like orange sparks coming out, like out of. It's just like the tiniest of orange sparks. And I think that whatever is happening is like the black material on the connector is starting to like melt and like smoke off. So I'm just like, I fucked something up. And at that point, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I fucked up like the USB connector, and I don't know like what really to do at this point. I'm sure that there's like some way that like we can still continue to try fixing this. There's probably some way, but I think I'm just kind of over it. I think like honestly, like I have, we keep going for it, but it's just like it just feels like I'm I don't know. When I was younger, my parents they bought me a car. Yeah, when I was younger, my parents bought me a car. I was a teenager. I lived in a small suburban city in Southern California, where like you needed a car to get around. So like I feel privileged that they were, you know, able to buy me this car, right? Like it was a community like you kind of needed it to get around, and so they bought me this car thinking like, okay, this is like a pretty nice car. This should last you a long time. Like this should last you like hopefully, you know, 10, 15, maybe 20 years. Like who knows how long this will last, but this should be just like a nice enough car to last you. The thing is, the specific model, like that specific combination of year, make, model, all of that, like I think that there was like some crazy engine issue, and like basically about like, I don't know, I want to say 6 sets, actually even sooner. Yeah, maybe even much sooner, maybe even like 3-4 years in, it started exposing like engine problems that were just like really bad. And like it was just like years of me like teetering, of just like I'm being put in a position where like I'm in like actual like possible potential danger, but not any actual danger. How do I put it? It would be like sometimes like I could lose the ability to accelerate just in the middle of driving, and then get it back like anywhere from like 5 to 15 seconds later. And so like I could be like stopped at a stop sign and then unable to accelerate. I could be just parked somewhere and like unable to I could be driving. In fact, this actually I think did happen once, going like 70 on an empty freeway. Luckily it was empty. Luckily it was long. It was like a long drive. And I could be cruising down and then suddenly unable to accelerate. Like I could brake, but maybe not accelerate. And I was doing this for years and years and years. This is like I feel like this car I got like 2007 or so. I was having this problem, you know, even up to like, you know, 2009, like starting 2009. And I was doing this for like a solid 5 years of just like, oh man, there's potential problems. On top of that, there was like this issue where like sometimes the car just would choose not to unlock. And I'd just be hitting the unlock button for a solid like 5 to 10 minutes before it would just decide to unlock. But anyways, I finally take it to a shop, I think around 2013 or so. And I had a roommate at that point. And I moved in, another roommate moved in, and I didn't know the guy, but he was a mechanic, and he said, okay, here's the number to the guy, like the best guy in the Bay Area who can work on European cars. I think he's the best in the Bay Area in terms of working on like European cars. Take it to him, see what you can come up with. And I go to this guy, and I ended up going to this guy a lot over the years, like for the couple of years after, maybe about 3 years after. But I remember the first time I go, he's just like looking in and just like trying to figure things out. And like he has like so many like resources just trying to figure out what happens. And apparently like this was a common problem again, like with the make and the model. And so he said like, oh yeah, okay, so this is actually super crazy and super scary. But I think like we have some ideas of what to do. Now I'm just explaining to you what it looks like from my perspective. I don't know shit about cars. I don't know that like I could re-explain any of it. I don't know how much of this was obvious by me trying to explain this, but I don't know anything about cars. So when my mechanic roommate is telling me like he doesn't even work with this guy, I know a guy who's the best in the Bay Area, I go to him, I'll just have him just sort of do everything for me. So apparently he did like thousands of dollars of work, but he like just in terms of like tuning or doing whatever it is that he needed to do with the engine. And he said that like he, you know, I don't know if him being a salesman, but I trust the guy because he seemed like a genuinely like nice, knowledgeable guy in all my conversations with him. And he said like, this is like such an interesting problem, that like, I guess like it really piqued his interest in terms of what was going on. That like, I don't know, he seemed really honest in terms of saying that like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do for you. And he compared it to like what an actual dealership would do, which is like replace the engine just entirely, or just like try to service the engine however they needed to do. And apparently it was just like the cost difference was just real crazy. What I failed to like really internalize was that like when the first time he did it in 2013 or so, like that type of service while like discounted, like there was like kind of like there was a lifespan or an expiration date for what that service was doing that still made it a good deal, but at some point was still just going to be like, you're still doomed. You're still doomed to some failure here. And I tell this whole story because that's what I think is happening with this PCB. I fucked it up not once, but twice. Yeah, it was more of a crutch. It was a really, really outstanding crutch. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a really outstanding crutch. But the problem was just gonna end up like coming up again just eventually, and so it did. And what was crazy is because like the type of issue that it was so intermittent. My dad and I, we took this gamble of trying to just like trade it in. and just like hope that like the intermittentness wouldn't show up when they would run it for a test drive. Like, because what would happen is like even then, like the check engine light would come on and off. Yeah, and like it just turned out like they looked at the car, they said they gave it a little test drive, and they came back and said like, yeah, everything looks good. Like, we'll give you the trade-in value that you want. And so like I got this trade-in value for like, I ended up putting the trade-in value towards a lease to another car, and I'm just like, holy shit, I feel like I got like the biggest scam in the world. Because I feel like whatever low value of the trade-in that it was already worth at this point should have been even lower. So yeah, no, that's Klaus. That's exactly like I was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, we gotta get out of here quick. So yeah, like I was saying, it was just that like I think about this story as I think about this stupid ass PCB that I broke twice. And I think about how like the second way that I've broken it at this point is like something that like I feel like the fact that I've shorted it as badly as it did to cause some shit to smoke is like, yeah, maybe I can try to put in all this work to safely remove the connector. But I am still continuing to think that like I'm basically cursed with this dumbass thing, and I feel like I just want to trash it. Aaron, welcome to the stream. Thank you for redeeming that open a package and listening to me talk about this stupid car story while I'm doing some keyboard stuff. I'll grab the other thing. Just another quick thing going back to the PCB. Like I mentioned at the very start of it, I actually bought two. I bought two of these PCBs, and I looked at the other one, the one that I didn't use last night, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is fucked up worse than the first one. Like, it's just like everything got corroded somehow. Let's go, Chris. Hey, what's going on, dude? Hope you've been well, man. You know, Aaron, I've never actually met you in real life. But I'm hoping someday we'll link up with Andy. Andy was Andy, okay, I don't know if I should call out Andy here or anything, but Andy actually told me a little bit about No, Andy told me about your issue that you're having, I guess, earlier today. That you were calling him about. You were giving him some phone calls. And he was like, Andy was going like, oh man, I don't know what advice to give Aaron. Do you guys have any advice that like maybe I could like come up with something that I'd tell him? I don't know if he wanted me to know that he told us this story about you. You got anything for me, brother? Part of me is just okay, I'm shifting around stories a lot, guys. I was talking about my keyboard problems, then I was talking about these car problems from a decade ago, and I'm talking about Aaron's problems. So Aaron's got a situation where if I'm not getting it incorrectly, correct me if I'm wrong here. But this situation kind of sounds like essentially you're trying to be polite to a friend of yours, but it's kind of led to you basically like being obligated to give some like essentially personal training to this friend of yours, just in the midst of being polite. The only advice I could think of is like to kind of get out of it is just continue to also be polite, but in the opposite direction. So it's just like next time you go to the gym with your friends, just say like, oh hey, like I'm gonna go get a workout myself. I gotta get mine in. Like that's like the only way I could think about approaching it. But I know that like that approach is much easier said from my perspective of not having to do it. So yeah. All right. Anyways, package to be opened here. This is So Much Fun by Young Thug on green vinyl. So what's really stupid is that in order to get this vinyl, you have to have a subscription to this service, Vinyl Me Please, and you had to have like known that they were, you know, putting this out in the month of May. And I totally missed it. Young Thug, basically like top 5 rapper in my opinion. Like he's top 5 to me, top 5 favorite rappers. And I just totally missed it. I got like no promo spam email. Like I got no notification, and I just completely missed it in the month of May. And I'm just like, fuck. Okay, like I ended up just buying it like aftermarket. So it was just like, it was marked up a little bit, which kind of pissed me off. Meanwhile, this subscription, I was like, I actually have a subscription to Vinyl Me Please, but it was like this really sick deal that I was like grandfathered into. And then in the month of June, they told me, hey, we're gonna cancel this really sweet subscription that you're grandfathered into next month. So now it's July, and like I no longer have this subscription. But I couldn't even get this guy. Because I was like a month late. Stupid. Like I've been subscribed to this service for like the last 6 years. It's been like $6 a month for 6 years. So I've spent a couple $100s just on subscription fees. And like they canceled this $6 a month service a long while back, or they stopped offering it because they now only have like a $30 a month subscription. That's just like, it's upgraded, you get more stuff with it. But I don't want to pay that. So like, because I know that like I had such a great deal, it's like I stayed subscribed to it for such a long time, but like I hardly ever bought stuff, which is why I just missed months. But we're no longer subscribed. I guess everything's gonna have to come in the aftermarket if I ever see vinyl I like. So Young Thug, So Much Fun. You know, what happened, for anyone who really likes Young Thug, this guy right here, Ecstasy. Ecstasy was such a good song when I heard it drop. But when it first released, it was just Young Thug. Young Thug had 2 verses. And what happened was, it was that whole situation like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix my album. Something got messed up with the release. On Spotify, they ended up changing it. It's just like, Young Thug himself got on an interview saying like, I don't know what happened with the release, but they released the wrong one. So he ended up, like on all the streaming services, it got replaced by this version where Young Thug's second verse was replaced by Machine Gun Kelly. I don't even like Machine Gun Kelly, so it's like we've been living with an inferior version of this song for like the last basically we only had the good version of the song for about a week. So curious how many people were still on it. Yeah, I have no idea. I stayed on it for as long as I could. Yeah. I just wished I got that and I didn't have to pay an extra $30. Alright guys. I got one last little task. Alright, let's see what's going on here. What am I grabbing? Oh, here it is. If you think about it, bigger question is how many people were on it that wouldn't resubscribe at $30, so they losing money rather than making money. If a few did join the 30 bucks. I mean, it's funny because like I feel like I definitely subscribed to that for too long, to be perfectly honest. Like I did not get my $6 a month's worth for how many years I was subscribed, to be honest. I could have just bought everything I wanted aftermarket. That requires me to be in tune with everything. All right, Klaus, you actually mentioned something earlier, and while we're still on the subject of plates and all that, I did want to be able to show this off. So this is another future build. Another future build that I want to run. So this is a KBD Fans wooden case with an integrated wrist rest. It's just a tray mount case here. And wrist board, I don't know if that's what you call it. It's not super expensive, but you know, it actually does seem kind of nice. Wondering how it'll be. Again, I like HHKB layout boards, so a big problem I have is that there are no blockers. With that said, one thing I commonly now try to do is like, even when like maybe a lip is tall on these like just typical tray mount boards or tray mount cases, I try to cut a plate that, you know, will end up looking like this, or you know, I guess not these top mount guys, but what did I open recently? Let's open this guy. I think this guy over here. Yeah, I try to get up something like this where the corners are blocked on a plate. So I can run this on a tray mount and it still be blocked just because I like the design of blocked corners. So what I ended up doing is like, okay, well, let's get a plate cut here, and we can throw in kind of anything here. I think this is the wrong one. This would be an AK. So here's a metal plate. So you throw on your keycaps and you'll end up having some silver blockers. Meanwhile, Klaus, you mentioned this earlier. We actually did get a plywood plate, which by no means is going to match the walnut color. So you can peel this off just a little bit and it's kind of exposed. It's like it's just a different shade of brown. But we did end up getting this 1mm. It's like amber plywood. So we want to try to be able to use this. With that said, because my stream is like running a little short, I just want to maybe do a little ASMR for you guys. If you guys want to listen to me peel off the backings here. Could stain it? We could. I know very, very little about staining, but obviously it's definitely a possibility. So let me get the mic up and around here. See if we can get the little peel going. That mic is very badly positioned. I don't know how I'm gonna really reach over it. This camera and mic combination not really well accommodated. Let's try this. Let's do a little peel action, yeah? All right. Hoping this guy is working. I think this should be a little bit louder now that I have two mics going on. Great. Let's get a little peel going on, yeah? I guess we'll peel off this side. Oh, there's a break. There's a break in the plate. That ain't good. Had to throw my good headphones. All right, there it is. There's a crack in the plate, so that's a little bit of a bummer. I don't know if y'all could see that. Dang. I mean, I guess that's like kind of to be expected. You know, I don't hate how it looks. Some wood glue and pressure. All right. So I also didn't remove this backing. Do you guys think I should? It's like, what if I, like, part of me is just like, I kind of like this idea of keeping the backings just because I'm not certain if these materials are too thin for Alps. Leave it? All right. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I gotta say, it's kind of like got this sort of coffee look, or it's just like inside of the trunk of a tree. Albeit, I'm gonna like I don't really have brown options, keycap options to sort of fit this look. For Alps, that'll also fit the layout. I mean, I think I'm gonna be ending up throwing. I'm not 100% sure. What am I gonna throw on this? Probably gonna throw on some just blank white keycaps on it. You guys think blank white or blank black would look better? What do you guys think would look better on this whole situation? White? Think white? Blanks? Blank. What color blank, though? Between black and white. My option's probably gonna gear more towards, or it's gonna gear towards me just buying blank Matthias keycaps. Black. All right. So yeah, that just about does it. It's definitely like where it got torn. There's like a warp. Black to contrast the lighter plate color. Okay. Okay. What would you do for polycarbonate? Black or white? It's like a foggy polycarbonate. I'm thinking about my options here. I was thinking black at first, but I realized you could probably do whatever. What? Oh, no, this has nothing to do with it. I'm thinking for the ph60 Alps. You guys want to see just one of these, just all the stuff that I just happen to have out. I might as well just show it off. White. So this is the ph60, the second plate that we were designing for. Is this guy. So you can see you got this cut right here. Warmer WS1 or cooler WS2. Let's go grab it. I have a bunch of these, like, or I have a couple of these Matthias sets, and I'm thinking of grabbing more for some of these builds. I go with white on it if it was more WS2. If it was cooler. Polycarbonate Oxalus 80 today. Right on. Right on. So I don't know. I don't know what you'd really call this because I don't know that my lighting conditions are really perfect or anything. This is what it looks in just in comparison to the other stuff you see on my desk right now. Machined polycarbonate looks and feels so different in real life than what I expected. Yeah. Nice. Doesn't look bad. Okay, so you say black here and white here. I was thinking of going black here and white here, but kind of like that idea. What color plate are you doing? For this guy, I'm probably doing alu. Same with the j-02. This freaks me out though. It's like, it's really, really brittle. I feel like, I was just like, it's a very not strong. This plywood, 1mm plywood. Seitu Kai, build. Oh yeah, we did that a little bit earlier. We were working on some plates here for, alps plates for a couple different boards that I'm probably just gonna get cut through Pinocchio. So, front here, this is the ph60 that I'm holding in my hands on the mid right cam, and we're gonna turn this into an HHKB Alps sort of layout. Use the leather as reinforcement backing. Leather? Oh, oh, that's interesting. Damn, that's a good idea. I mean, this is for a totally different board. But I actually, you know, that leather would look really good, but I didn't want to use it on tray. I didn't want to use it on a tray mount board because it's like, it'd just be flopping down on the corners. I mean, I guess I could like put some placeholders here. I don't know. But it would just be like flopping down into the PCB. Yeah, the plate would be all limp. But that's like actually a really good color match to this leather. That's ridiculous. You know, and I'll just be honest here, I have no idea how well either of these guys are gonna work. This guy in the Sirius up here, this guy in this tray mount board here. God damn, why does that look so nice? I have no idea how well they'll work. There is a chance that these are gonna be super terrible. I would say a very realistic chance that something's gonna break or it's just gonna be bad for whatever reason. But I really want it to work. So we'll kind of see how it goes. These are my plans. If you did black, it would be a sick contrast too. Black plate on the... Wait, black plate on the walnut? Oh, black leather? Whew. That would look nice. I think Pinocchio only offers that mocha color though, unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah. Here are the things we got going. Seitu Kai, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Alrighty. I think that just about wraps it up for me. A little bit of a shorter stream today that I kind of extended out just because I wanted to chat with some of the stuff that we have in front of me. As I mentioned yesterday, but for anyone who wasn't here yesterday, I'm in the very, very early stages of putting together a type of Twitch event mid next month. And so a couple things to note here. You guys are going to be seeing a lot more keyboard streams up until then, because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be doing over this next month, including things on and off stream, is going to be in preparation for this Twitch event I'm trying to run next month. So stay tuned for more details. Again, like it's very, very early, but I know that we got a lot of work ahead of us. So yesterday we had this stream where we dealt with this whole big ass disaster for that build. Today we're doing some j-02 and ph60 plates. All of these, there's intentions here on what's happening. This stuff is all in preparation for what's going on. Every stream you probably are going to be seeing for the next month, there's intentions. So yeah, guys, I think that just about wraps it up for me. Guys, I appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to take a look and see who is online right now, so we can figure out what to do. Ooh, Kimchi has a big ol' situation going on. I feel like he might not need the raid. But I will say, guys, we're gonna raid somebody else that's not Kimchi, but check out Kimchi because I think he's doing a big frog build tonight. But I do see someone else. Warm Thoughts was just on here, chatting, having a whole lot of fun. So we're gonna go raid her. Till then, guys, for anybody interested, feel free to join the Discord if you're interested in the stuff we stream and talk about. Notification when I go live and all that. I also have a film photography development and scanning service, so check that out as well. Competitive pricing, all that. Feel free to take a look there for details. Finally, I send all the donations to me, bits and subs, to the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. Check it out. I got this link down there if you want to donate directly to them without Twitch taking that cut. Really want to get a film camera? Hey, I say go for it. Get a cheap one, or even work disposables. If you really want to go and just try to test things out. Super fun. And also just let me know if you want to, if you ever do get it and want me to, to develop your film, I'll hook you up. And just check all that out. Klaus Live, thank you for that follow. Appreciate it so much. Guys, we're gonna go. I think I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow as well. I'm not 100% sure what that is yet. I do have a tentative schedule in my Discord. It might be something, but it also might be something else. We may come back to that stupid ass Alps build that we were working on yesterday that we busted up. Yeah, we'll sort of figure out what's going on as we get closer to tomorrow. So guys, till then, good night from San Francisco. We're gonna be rating Warm Thoughts. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.